Stadium. Now, who remembers the name of the old ground of Westham? Yes, what was it called? Upton Park or Bowling Ground, absolutely. 35,500 seats, tight old English stadium, 4 sides, streets of East London. Moved here 10 years ago. A 62,500 seater multi-purpose complex. But as I said, the story of this stadium does start before then. It actually starts on the 6th of July 2005. Because that was the day that London won the rights to host the Olympics and the Paralympics of 2012. And from this, a group called the Legacy Group was formed, fronted by an ex-British athlete that some of the older people here might know, by the name of Sebastian Coe, famous for the Olympics in Los Angeles in particular. Now, it was his idea the Games had a lasting legacy. He didn't want something called white elephant venues to emerge. Now, when I say white elephant venues, who can tell me what that term means? Yes?
Just used there and then ruined and not used ever again.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We saw this in Beijing with the Bird's Nest in 2008. In fact, a lot of the venues for the Sydney Olympics went that way as well. Large cost, no use, fall into disrepair. They didn't want that to happen here. So they chose a part of London where growth and development could happen. Now, ground broke here before 2008, and before then, this area had some of the highest crime and unemployment in all of London as well. Where we're on right now, this was a barren marsh, chemical wasteland. In fact, Europe's largest scrap metal kitchenware heap was on this site here. They chose this as a place to redevelop and grow, not just Westham, but also the area we're in, Newham. The Olympic Park we're in right now, yeah? Migrational birds coming throughout the year. Eco-diversity of the East End of London changing because of the wildflowers that now grow in this park. You've got the Westfield Shopping Centre just over there. You might have seen that earlier today, you might even see it later on. 5,000 plus jobs for people in the local borough when it first opened, changing the employment stats. The velodrome, that's still in use for cycling. Swimming centre, that's open to the public with the local borough of Newham giving them discounts for use. And just there is the Copper Box, currently home to something called Baller League. You might know about Baller League, the YouTube league? Yeah, that was home to the boxing in the Olympics. Big one is this though. This was an 80,000 seater athletics venue. And do you think in this country, athletics, 12 months of the year, as a venue, is a profitable venture and makes enough money to sustain itself? Not entirely, so they turned to football. The Football and Athletics Union. And there were 3 teams in London that came forward to take over this stadium as the football co-anchor. And the first of those is a little team just up the road from here, and they're called Tottenham. Now the problem is with Tottenham, my friend, is they wanted to get rid of the legacy. Ruin the legacy entirely, ruin Lord Coe's vision. So they were completely pushed to one side. The other is a much bigger team than them, not too far from here, called Leyton Orient. How many of you know of Leyton Orient? 3rd tier of English football? Currently trying to fight themselves out of a bit of a difficult situation right now. Their average gate of Brisbane is about 8,000. And do you think that Leyton Orient versus Burton Albion in this 62,500 seat stadium looks good and makes a lot of money? Not overly. They were actually penciled. They were going to reduce this to 30,000 seats to accommodate Leyton Orient. But that would have cost a lot more money than when Westham came forward. Westham tried to build on the old ground Upton Park, notably a stand I used to occupy as a ticket holder called the Chicken Run. There was a series of flats behind that stand and a bus garage that meant we refused permission to extend. So we saw this as an opportunity to grow not just as a football club, but as it is these days with football, as a business. But 2 big physical things have got to happen to make this a football and athletics stadium. What can you not see around the pitch? Yeah, where is it, mate? Yeah, underneath that, you see that carpet there? That cost £250,000 when it was first laid. The track is under that, and it's underneath the seating on the lower section, all of which is retractable, removable. Now, we're not seeing this weather today, but we saw it last week in particular. What weather do we get a lot here in England? Cold and rainy, isn't it, mate? So you've pushed all the seats really far forward. What have you got to do next? You do indeed. Look above you guys, you'll see the roof is split into 2 parts. You've got a dark part and a clear part. The dark part is the original roof from the Olympics and the Paralympics. The clear part is the extension forward, allowing natural light to penetrate the playing surface and to cover those fans. This is the largest cantilever roof on a stadium in the world, meaning it stands under its own structural weight and support. Not a single pillar or a beam is in place, obstructing any of the sight lines for any of the seats, which when we lost 5-1 to Chelsea this year was awful. I wanted to be behind a pillar very badly when that 5th goal went in. So bad, in fact, that I went to the pub. That became my pillar, just there. The floodlights, all of these inverted inwards, 43 tons each. For the games, you might remember they were pointed upright as little triangles. That was to represent the Queen's imperial crown. The Queen's family very deeply rooted in the East End of London, in particular her mother. And 3 of the bulbs in each of these got transferred over from the old ground of Upton Park. Now, during the Olympic Games, in front of that large screen there, that was where the cauldron was put up. 204 individual flames representing each nation that took part. And the stand that I have my season ticket in, the Bobby Moore Lower, where that Brewdog bar is, that was where there was a bell with the words, "Be not afraid, the isle is full of noises" on it. Can anyone tell me what Shakespearean play that's from? It's a roll at the RSC in this for someone who gets this right. Starts with a storm. Yes, you get the role of Caliban as well, read by Sir Kenneth Branagh for the Olympics opening ceremony. So yes, we have the athletics coming back here in the form of Diamond League. We even have music that happens. This stand over here, the Trevor Brooking, that lower tier gets turned into a stage. This year we've got Metallica and Take That, two completely different forms of music happening here this year. Last year we had Sam Fender and Iron Maiden, two completely different forms of music. But we've had the likes of Beyonce, we've had The Who, we've had the Rolling Stones, we've had Bruce Springsteen. We've had a lot of big names here, and more big names are coming, because this stadium is acoustically designed to hold in sound, but not have it bleed out. If you ever go to an event at Wembley or nearby, for example, when the Euros final happened, when England lost to Italy, apparently you could hear the crowd from around 7 miles away. You can't get that here, because it's been designed to hold sound in and keep it locked into the stadium, therefore not distracting and disturbing all of the residents in the surrounding area as well. We have an American sport that comes here every summer. What one's that? Baseball! Great American pastime. Now, with the baseball in mind, Major League Baseball put a lot of money into this ground, continuing the legacy group development growth financially. Paris tried to hold their own game last year for Major League Baseball. But what did they spend all their money on in 2024? Olympics. They also spent it on cleaning the River Seine. Did you see that when they came out the Seine? Did they look clean? No, they threw up, they were awful. €2 billion that cost. Lost a lot of money. Going back to the point, the London Olympics is the only one in modern history to generate a profit. Every single other generates a significant loss, and the Olympics still continues to do just that. We have monster trucks that comes here as well, but the main thing is Westham United. As you can see, the ground staff down there getting ready. This will be their second cut of the day. They do 4 in total on a game day. This is the shortest pitch in the Premier League, 23 millimetres, making it the quickest as well, which when we had 2 cart horses in the middle of the park last year really didn't help. They got beaten every single time it was that quick, this pitch. But we've got a couple of speedier players this year, one in which we're hoping is back tonight by the way of Crescencio Somerville. So hopefully we'll see what he can do tonight as well. That's my season ticket down there. Bobby Moore lower. That seat cost me £700 for the year. This one's £700 for just tonight. That seat is plastic, this one is not. That seat breaks, this one does not. Miguel Antonio made it break when he scored against Bayer Leverkusen in the Europa League. Well no, I made it break. I got very excited. I fell backwards over the seat. We took the lead against Bayer Leverkusen. No one did that year. But alas, we went out that season to Bayer Leverkusen. But yes, we moved here now in our 10th season. Very, very different to Upton Park. Did anyone go to the Old Girl? Yeah? Fulham fan. There you go, Fulham. Yes, had a couple of battles with Fulhams over the years. Yeah, Upton Park, famous old ground, very much missed by a lot of people, myself included. But we're here in this one now, so we've got to make it our home, haven't we? That's all I can say. Yes, my friend.
If you work here, why haven't you traded out your seat for a better one?
Because I like my mates. Yeah, it's good atmosphere down there. It's best atmosphere in the ground.
I mean, move where you are. Just take a better seat there and pull the other one out.
Well, I mean, they might look, they might notice. I've got a screwy and sort of soft seat. But also, we just stand down there. They're going to trial, hopefully, in the next couple of seasons to make that one safe standing. Can you see that railing at the back of the away section up there is all of the black rails? That's because that's safe standing compatible. They're going to trial potentially to put the safe standing railing down on that lower section for the next couple of seasons. Because all we do is stand. We all stand, and it actually makes it safer as well. So if you guys really want to take any pictures up here or anything like that, please feel free to do so before we move on with the rest of the tour. Any more questions as well? More than happy to answer.
To reinstate the pitch after after a concert, is that a big job?
Yeah, huge job, man. So the football season, that will be ending here on the 24th of May when we play Leeds last game. What will then happen is we will play a game of football on that pitch, because we all do here, and then they rip it up and they replace it ready for music and athletics and baseball and monster trucks and everything else. And then that pitch gets completely relaid, ready for the new season. Yeah, they actually won the grounds team of the year last year as well, those lads. Grounds team of the year, and it is looking in excellent condition as well. I've got to say, it really is looking in marvellous condition for the game. Bearing in mind that they played here against Leeds on Sunday as well in what was a very long, drawn-out contest. You were here.
Yeah.
Then we drove to Bolton.
Then you drove to Bolton, as you do. As you do.
To Bolton, 2 a.m.
2 a.m. up to Bolton. What were you playing up at Bolton or something, guys?
Stayed at the academy.
Oh, the academy at Bolton. Did you go to the ground as well?
Yeah.
Really nice. It's lovely, isn't it?
Stayed there.
Yeah. You stayed at the hotel at the ground. Nice. I think it opened at 2000 that ground. It was quite modern for its time. Did you? The Etihad campus tour. It's really good.